You are working 50 hours a week for a lifestyle you cannot afford. Buying things you do not need with money you do not have. To impress people you do not even like. You feel like a slave, and mathematically you are. Millions of modern professionals are caught in a silent, gilded trap. High nominal income, zero real liquidity, compounding high-interest debt, and an illusion of wealth that collapses at the very first economic tremor. You believe you have a revenue problem, but in reality, you suffer from a structural governance problem. 3,000 years ago, an ancient king left behind an immutable algorithm for financial dominance and total freedom. A strategic framework so mathematically precise that it dismantles modern consumerism, line by line. Welcome to Aeterna.scripta. Today we decipher the Proverbs code, the ancient strategy for true wealth and financial freedom. If you are ready to break the cycle of financial bondage, build productive assets, and master the wisdom that outlasts empires, subscribe to Aeterna.scripta, activate the notification bell, and let us step into the ancient map. In the royal courts of ancient Jerusalem, King Solomon analyzed human psychology, risk management, and capital allocation with cold, unyielding precision. He did not preach a gospel of effortless luck, nor did he glorify ascetic poverty. Instead, he mapped the mechanical laws of cash flow, asset accumulation, and human foolishness. To understand how to escape the modern debt trap, we must examine three foundational decrees recorded in the book of Proverbs, chapters 21, 22, and 24. Solomon writes, "The wise man saves and has reserves of food and oil, but the fool spends everything he earns. The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower becomes a slave to the lender. Prepare your fields and finish your work outside. After that, build your house." Let us dissect the underlying mechanics of these three commands. First, Proverbs 21, verse 20, addresses the fatal flaw of modern cash flow management, the total depletion of liquidity. In the ancient Near East, grain and oil were not merely food, they were liquid commodities, medium of exchange, and strategic reserves against volatility. When the text states that the wise man maintains oil, it reveals a fundamental economic law. Wealth is not determined by gross revenue, but by your net retention rate. Someone earning a high salary who consumes 100% of their cash flow remains fundamentally vulnerable. The fool falls victim to lifestyle creep. The moment his income rises, he transforms liquid capital into fixed, depreciating liabilities. He mistakes credit capacity for financial strength, leaving zero margin of safety when crisis strikes. Second, Proverbs 22, verse 7 exposes the hidden leverage trap of consumer debt. Debt is not simply a financial transaction, it is the legal alienation of your future freedom. When you take out loans or credit to fund immediate consumption, status symbols, or living beyond your means, you sign a contract of forward servitude. The compounding interest demanded by the lender acts as a perpetual tax on your future labor. You lose the structural power to say no. You are forced to remain in hostile work environments, tolerate toxic conditions, and sacrifice your mental health because your paycheck belongs to the creditor before you even receive it. You become a functional slave operating under the illusion of consumer autonomy. Third, Proverbs 24, verse 27 dictates the strict architectural order of capital allocation. Capital expenditures must precede operating expenditures. The field represents productive infrastructure, income-generating assets, and cash-flowing investments. The house represents personal comfort, residential luxury, and status consumption. The modern hyper-consumer reverses this sequence. He builds the house first, purchased through luxury vehicles, expensive apartments, and high-end lifestyle assets, financed by debt or draining his principal. He chokes his cash flow before his economic foundation is even established. The Solomon Blueprint enforces the opposite discipline. Deploy your capital into the field first. Allow your productive assets to mature and yield recurring cash flow. Only when the field is producing an abundance of surplus should you construct the house. Paying for luxury strictly out of asset yields, never out of primary capital or debt. This ancient framework establishes two opposing behavioral archetypes: the fool and the wise. The fool operates on immediate gratification, short time horizons, and social validation. He drains liquidity, uses leverage for consumption, and prioritizes status over solvency. The wise operates on intergenerational time horizons, strategic restraint, and asset priority. He maintains a deep liquidity cushion, avoids consumer debt as a systemic threat, and forces his capital to work for him before indulging in luxury. To execute the Proverbs code in the modern world, you must overhaul your personal financial architecture. Stop treating available credit as wealth. Establish a sacred liquidity reserve before calculating your lifestyle expenditures. Systematically dismantle every consumer debt tying you to the ledger of a lender. Above all, enforce the law of the field. Never buy a luxury asset until you have built a productive engine that generates enough passive yield to fund that luxury automatically. If you seek the wisdom that time cannot erase, subscribe to Aeterna.scripta. The journey through the ancient map continues.